like to start this video by saying congratulations. You have unlocked and are ready to run Delubrum Reginae. Reginae? You're ready to run DR. And you want to get a little bit prepared before you go in there. You want to see what's going to go down. Well, that's what this video is going to show you. I'm going to show you every boss, I'm going to show you every mechanic, and I'll try to edit this so it doesn't take forever. So we'll see you in there. Alright, welcome to DR. First thing first. There is a mechanic in this called Twice Comes Ruin. That means that if you screw up any mechanic twice, you die. You get a doom effect, it cannot be cleared, and you just die. Therefore, in my opinion, health, things that buff your health are not super important. There are not a lot of things that will one-shot you in this dungeon, but there are mechanics that you have to pay attention to. So with that in mind, I'm going to use a Skirmisher Essence here so I can do more damage. You can take different abilities here if you want. It's really up to you. I like to keep the cure when I run on my ninja, just in case. Just also keep in mind that your party is automatically made for you. You cannot choose your party makeup or anything. It is what it is. So that's it. So we're just going to wait for everyone to get in here, and then we'll head on over to the first boss. When his swords glow, he's going to start doing half-room AoEs. My recommendation is to stand between his feet when you see those swords glow. It makes this much easier to dodge. Verdant Path will do AoEs, making the center of the room safe, so just move between him for Verdant Path. When he does the full room AoE, you have to run and hide behind one of these barriers. When he does the AoE knockback, you have to get knocked back into one of these barriers here. When he jumps and he puts his fist down on a texture, you stand on the opposite texture. So you can see he put his fist on sand, so you stand on bricks. He'll now do the opposite. He'll put his fist down on the bricks, so you stand on the sand. When he does the chains, you need to split apart from the other person that has your chain, and you also need to hide behind the barrier as well. If you and the person that you're chained to stay close together, you'll start taking massive damage. You won't always get hit by those chains, by the way. Sometimes it will skip you. Dead Iron, those yellow lines are going to indicate area attacks. Just don't stand in the yellow line and you're fine. Seasons of Mercy is 3 mechanics in one. This is one of the more difficult ones. There's a growing thing over here that you have to avoid, and you have to look away from it. So it's going to grow in this direction. There, that purple thing over there. It grows, and you have to look away, and you have to dodge at the same time. That's a tough mechanic, but what I recommend you do is spin your camera and just try to find the eye, the purple circle, and look away and dodge. That's the best way that you can deal with that one. If you get killed by that, totally normal, 100% expected. That one takes practice. Alright, the first boss is dead. I died to the triple mechanic thing. Don't forget to get your spoils. This is not group loot. This is your own specific loot, so don't forget to click the treasure chest. When it comes to moving between bosses, there are traps that are on the floor. They can be revealed by using a lost find option. I forget what it's called, but it looks like a radar and it pulses out and will reveal the traps. If you don't have one, it's fine. Just generally follow other people and stay in their path, and that's the safest way to move from one boss to the next. This boss's first mechanic is going to be a half-room AoE. If you're a ranged hero, you should be able to just stand outside for this, and you'll be fine. It doesn't do the whole thing. But once it goes off, you have to move over to the side, because the AoE will then move to the other side, but it doesn't give you enough time to move. So as soon as the attack goes off, you have to move over. In case it's not obvious, I'm not going to call out every single mechanic. There are certain things that you should understand how to do by now. I'm not going to tell you, hey, don't stand in the AoE. Like, you should know that. Like, I'm not going to tell you to dodge that. You should know to dodge that. But those lions are very important because they're going to create AoEs, and now he's going to cast Feral Howl, which is going to knock you back. So you want to get knocked back into the safe zone. It's a pretty wide area. Like, it's pretty big. He'll immediately do this spin move, and just stay right behind this, and you're fine. He does it a little bit. It's not a quick mechanic. Does a few breaths, and that's it. When he dashes outside of the room, don't stand in front of him, and stand in the opposite place where he's going to go, because then he does a full room AoE, but the sides are clear. So that's how you deal with that one. In this last phase, there is a shit ton of dodging coming up, so if you have instant cast abilities, now is the time. And as you can see, I made a mistake there, and I got hit by that half-room AoE. I was not ready for it, but that's okay. I still have, he's going to do Feral Howl again, sorry. We have to get knocked back into the safe zone here. It's a little bit smaller in the second time. The second pass, whatever. Almost made a mistake there. I'm trying to bring him down. Okay. So that's kind of a mini boss. Not really a full boss. Again, moving between the bosses, we're just going to follow the same path that other players are following. It's a little bit of a selfish way to play. This way, if somebody takes the wrong path, they die from the trap, not you. But yeah, is what it is. That's what I do, so that's what I'm going to say to do. Pretty sure I'm not the only one that stays in a line. So for this boss, there are 4 different mechanics that you have to pay attention to, one for each dude here. All of these mechanics will appear in the last boss fight. When the fight begins, don't use any cooldowns. We're not worried about the beginning of this fight because they're all just going to jump in the air, and we're going to fight them one at a time anyway. Or you could just, limit break it, whatever. Great way to start. Sure, that's not a waste at all. So just doing my normal 1, 2, 3 here. I'm not spending any resources because they're all going to go away. Queen's Gunner is going to spawn little dudes, and they are going to spawn with arrows that indicate what direction they're going to go. Just don't stand in front of the arrows. That's it. Queen's Soldier is going to spawn these dudes on the outside. He tethers to the real ones. So all you have to do is stand next to one that is not tethered, and you're safe. It looks like there's going to be a big AoE attack that's going to hurt you, but it's not. They're fakes. In the second round of that mechanic, they're going to shuffle, so you have to watch them. Complicated stuff. Okay, so I'm going to follow this guy here because I know he's safe. You can do this however you want, but I'm just going to... Okay, so I think he's there. Now he's there. And one more. And he landed right on top of me. Wonderful. I think this is correct. Yes, it was. Yay. Queen's Warrior is going to drop bombs on the ground. If the bombs are not tethered with a purple line, that means you stand next to a big bomb. If they are tethered with a purple line, that means you stand next to a small bomb. So as you can see the purple lines, that means small bombs are safe. Queen's Knight is a very simple mechanic. If you see swords, stand out. If you see shields, move in. So shields in. And then in the next one, it will most likely be swords. And then swords, you'll stand away from him. There's the swords, so we'll just move away. And that's it for him. Very easy guy. After you've killed all 4 guys, you're going to fight them all at the same time. Well, not really fight them, but they're all going to spawn, and you're going to kill them. You don't have to kill them in any specific order, but they will cast something called Coat of Arms. When they cast Coat of Arms, that's going to put a shield on him, either on the front, on the back, or the sides. So there's Coat of Arms. I'm going to back away so I don't attack, and then I'm going to attack where the shields did not pop up. If you hit those shields, you will get knocked back and you'll take damage. So it's important to stop attacking while you wait for the shields to pop up, because you don't know if they're going to pop up in the front and back or if they're going to pop up on the sides. The end. Easy. So for this next boss, he's actually a mini boss, and we're going to... the first part of this encounter is usually cheesed. So if they do it, I will try the very best that I can to explain it. But we'll see how this goes. So when the 2 things come up, the 2 shapes, we're going to move over to the square one, and we're going to stand right here. And then this little spot right here will become safe for a very short period of time. So all we're going to do is wait for that to go off, and then we're going to move over, and you see this little spot? That's the safe spot. So now we don't have to worry about the mechanic, we could just DPS the hell out of them, so that's how we cheese it in the first part. The first mechanic, whatever you want to call it. So the next mechanic that comes up is not going to be cheesed, we're actually going to do this. The circle indicates the shape that we're going to have to navigate, and it's going to be a donut shape. So all we're going to do is move with the donut. It doesn't move very far, so you don't have to move that far with it. Just little steps at a time. And don't touch the edge over there, and you're good. So in this situation, we're going to move all the way against the arrows and get blown over. We don't want to touch the purple. After that, he's going to do a big cone AoE in front of him. Just get out of the way. We might kill this guy before we see the next mechanic, which is going to combine the donut and that knockback effect that we just did. You have to get blown into the donut. I think that's what's going to happen here. Yeah, so we're going to stand on this side over here, and we're going to get blown into the donut over there. And you see we're not all the way up against the edge. And now we'll follow the donut back. Sometimes you don't see this mechanic if your DPS is really high. This raid does not have very high DPS right now, which is why we're seeing this. And we killed him before he did the cone AoE, so that's how that guy works. Oh no, they hit the trap for us. That's why you follow people. RIP. So this next boss coming up is, in my opinion, the second hardest fight in the dungeon, second only to the last boss. Ooh, another trap. Jeez. And the reason why this fight is difficult is because it has a very unique mechanic, and I'll do my best to explain that. Time for the first mechanic, hot and cold. You're gonna get a thermometer over your head. This indicates the opposite attack that you need to be hit by. So as you can see here, I have 1 cold. So what I'm looking for is a 1 hot attack. So there it is. It's a 1 hot attack, and I'm gonna go ahead and get hit by this, and that will balance my thermometer. Once it's balanced, you're good to go. You can go ahead and continue the fight as normal. This hot and cold mechanic will come in a few different styles, and I'll try to explain each one as we go through it. Okay, she's going to force us over to this side of the room, And the area that we just came from with these little pillars here are going to be important, so it's important to keep an eye on them. Very important. So there's my thermometer. I have 1 hot. I am looking for 1 cold. The 1 cold is going to spawn somewhere on this side of the room. Once it spawns, it's going to follow one of these paths, and the path will illuminate very quickly to tell you where it's going to go. So I'm going to stand in front of where this is going to land at the end of the path. That will balance my thermometer, and I am done. In the second version of that, which we might see, it's a little more complicated because there are not only just 1 cold or 1 hot, it goes up to 2. Then you gotta watch out. Okay, here we go, hot and cold again. These are going to be half room AoEs. I am now looking for a 2 hot attack, and hit 2 hot. And she's going to indicate what attack she is going to do, and then the sword indicates what side it's going to be on. So there's my 2 hot, and it is going to be on this side, so I'm going to get hit by this attack to balance the thermometer. Now that I'm done, I will dodge as normal. So as you can see, the sword glows over there. Don't stand by the glowing sword. And she'll do another one over there. That's random, by the way. She goes back and forth, back and forth. She'll do 2 in one, 2 in the other. Just pay attention. I forget the name of this ability, but she's going to spawn dudes on the outside, and what you're looking for is you're looking for the blank square. So as you can see, there's no one here, and there's no one there. So if you stand here, there's no attack that will hit you. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of that one, but just keep an eye on the outside. When you see the copies spawn, you're looking for the blanks where there's no one standing. Okay, we're back to hot and cold again. I am looking for a 1 hot attack. And this is going to be a little bit different because there's going to be lots of different options for me to pick. I got to find the right one. There's the 1 hot right there. Easy peasy. As you can see, now there's 2 over there and there's 2 over here. So you got to find the right one. Because if you get 2, you got to stand with 2 to balance the thermometer. There's the spawns on the outside again. So we're looking for the blank. There's no one here. There's no one here. This square is safe. Okay, copies again. This square happens to be safe again, which is fine, but just looking for those blanks and standing there. She's now going to push us over to this side of the battle area. And now we're going to do hot and cold again, except it's going to be a little more complicated because there aren't just going to be 2 options. There's going to be 4 options. So you have to pay attention. So we're going to keep our camera over here, and we're going to be watching these pillars for my 2 hot attack. There it is. It's a big, fat one. So now we're going to follow the path. It's going to end up this way. This is also a visual indicator. The level of attack is indicated by the thickness of the arrow. So if it's a big, fat arrow, you know that's the 2 hot. Okay, we have hot and cold again. I think you kind of get the idea at this point, but I'm going to do this one again anyway. I just won't talk through it. Alright, this fight is now over. That took a very long time. That is the slowest I think I've ever killed that boss. And now we are on our way to the last boss. Yay! We did it. Okay, welcome to the last boss. Lots of stuff happening here. One very complicated mechanic. I will do the best that I can to explain it. We'll see how this goes. But this is going to be a long fight. So you can see we're starting at around 11:08. And yeah, let's go. Okay, first mechanic, the marching. These arrows are going to indicate the direction that these are going to march. The dots indicate how many squares they're going to march. Once they arrive at their destination, they're going to do a cross attack. It's more like a plus sign once they arrive at their destination. So what you have to do is figure out where they're going to go, and then don't stand on the squares that are going to get hit by that plus sign attack. And I know the plus is probably not the best way to describe it, but it's the front and the sides is where the attack comes from. When these dots appear, what we are looking for are the two dots that are parallel. That indicates the safe zones. As you can see here, these are parallel. I'm sorry, the dot's not parallel. The lines are parallel. Once the blue bar appears, we're going to stand next to the blue bar because it's going to be a knockback. We want to stand in the middle because there's more room here for you. Okay, here comes the marching again. So this is going to move 2, meaning this is not safe. This guy is going to move 2 forward, meaning that's not safe. So this is safe here. And then once she's done, she's going to move over to the side and zip across the map. She's also going to illuminate one side that indicates what half of the play area is going to get hit. So her swords will illuminate, indicating, I'm going to hit this side. Don't stand here. And you say, okay, I'm going to stand over here. Okay, it's my turn to do the mechanic now. So we're back to the chessboard. I am now going to get dots over my head that indicate how many squares I need to move. So I'm just going to take a little time out here and we'll just show you how this is done. It's not very hard. But what hard is we're going to have to combine this mechanic with the other one. 2, 3, and then stay on this square that you land on. Don't move. Wait. Hold. And we're done. Okay, here are her little soldiers that we did earlier, if you remember. So now there's that mechanic. We don't want to stand in front of any yellow arrows, so we are safe here-ish. Okay, there are the bombs. Are they tethered? They are not. So now we are going to get blown into a big bomb. That's the objective here, since they're not tethered. So now we're going to move over here to the big bomb. If they were tethered with the purple tether, we would want to get blown into the small bomb. Okay, time to combine mechanics. Very difficult thing to do. I'm going to give myself plenty of room here, and we're going to figure out where these guys are going to go. So this area is not going to be safe, and neither is this. And I have to move forward 2, so I'm actually going to go here instead. I'll move forward 2 squares, and he will move forward 3. So I'll go 1, 2. He's going to move forward 1, so this wouldn't be safe. And now he's going to move forward 3, meaning he'll be up here when he ends. Boom. I hope I explained that well. That's a tough one. You got to do a lot of, I don't want to say mental math, but you have to calculate where they're going to land and how far you have to go at the same time. And you only have a few seconds to figure it out. So that one takes practice. If you die on that mechanic, it is okay. It happens to everyone. I died several times until I figured that one out myself. So don't beat yourself up if it kills you. Back to the soldiers. Remember, she will tether to the real ones. So we're going to go over here because this one's fake. And then after that, we have swords out, shields in. So this is safe here because she didn't tether to it. And then this dude will do swords out, shields in. Oh, never mind. She's going to do the zip attack, and I messed up. So swords out. I forgot about the zip attack. So I made a mistake. It happens. If those were shields, we would have ran and stood next to him instead. But I forgot about the zip attack. That's what I call it. When she zips across the play area. You know? I don't know. The dash attack, I guess you could call it. Probably a smarter thing to call it than zip. But I'm a weird dude. Again, looking for the the parallel lines, and also now indicating, and also these guys are going to spawn outside of the map. So one over here, meaning this row is not safe, and he's going to move 1, 2, 3, meaning this isn't safe. So this is safe here. This fight should be over by now, but alas, we are only at 20%. So we're going to go ahead and do the soldiers again. I'm going to stand back here, and then not there, this way. I want to make sure I avoid this dude over here. Okay, we got bombs, and they are tethered, so we're going to get blown into the small bomb. Right there. Boom. And then we'll stand here next to the small bomb, and we're good. Okay, we're going to do this mechanic again. We should start to see a pattern here. So 1, 2, 3, this isn't safe. This guy's only going to move 1. So I'm going to move 3 in this row, and I will be safe. 2, 1, go. So 1, 2, 3. And now this guy will only move forward 1, making this row and this column not safe. And this guy will do the same thing over there. Easy peasy. Okay, she is tethering to the real ones, so we will stand by the fake ones. But this fight is basically over at this point. I know that this guy is safe right here. And then afterwards, she's going to do the dash attack, and we're going to stand on the correct side, indicated by the glowing swords. There she goes. I have engaged in a process called learning. Shields in, stand on top of this dude, and bring the boss down. That is DR, Delubrum, Reginae, whatever you want to call it. I hope you found this guide helpful and useful. If you didn't, I'm sorry. I did my best to explain everything. Yeah, so good luck out there. Have fun, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.